So we've learned already 3 major building blocks of culture. Isn't this interesting stuff? Now we're going to talk about the 4th building block of culture, which has to do with locus of control. And the extremes of the continuum would be an internal locus of control versus an external locus of control. And what this really answers is, who is in control of my destiny? Who is in control of my life? And this is the view of self and your place vis-a-vis the external world. Now, if you're an externalist, you're more likely to ask the question, is life what happens to you? And answer, yes. If you are an internal locus of control person, then you're going to ask the question, is life what you make of it? And answer, yes. Very different ways of viewing yourself and what is possible in terms of your own destiny. So let's first think about the United States and U.S. American culture. We are very much the poster children for the internal locus of control. In fact, this is almost like the great American myth, if you will. We say in this culture, we're taught by our parents, life is what you make of it. There are no limits to what you can do or become. Your success is your own achievement, and you're responsible for what happens to you. After all, this is a country of unlimited opportunity. We've had an actor, Ronald Reagan, who became president. We had a peanut farmer by the name of Jimmy Carter who became president. And we have someone who came from very modest economic circumstances from Arkansas, Bill Clinton, who became president. In many other countries, those 3 men would never have had opportunities to do what they've accomplished in the United States. And a lot of it has to do with this concept of internal locus of control. And so in our culture, we are very much an activist, let's do it kind of culture. Life is what you do, more than life is what you are. So again, these things very much typify us as U.S. Americans. On the other hand, many people around the globe have a very different view of themselves and what is possible. In these cultures, life is largely predetermined. The control is outside of that person, that individual. And as a result of that, there is this notion that there are limits to what you can do or what you can become. Because, after all, your success is a combination of your effort and then just simple good luck. Life is in large part what happens to you, not what you make of it. And in these cultures, we might consider them to have a fatalistic view. So you might hear an Arab say, well, it didn't go through and it wasn't meant to be, that fatalism. That doesn't mean that this is a right or wrong way, again, of looking at things. It's just a very different way of conceptualizing, again, what the possibilities are and who controls our present and our future. Again, look at how different we are from so many other countries. The United States, we again are the most internally focused in terms of the locus of control compared to China, Mexico, the Middle East, and Africa. You kind of see us tracking, though, very closely with Germans especially, and even more so a little bit closer to the Japanese than we have with any other previous cultural building block. And so again, this is very, very different. So let's describe the concept of internal locus of control. What does that mean? Briefly describe the concept of external locus of control. And then name 2 countries where there is a high external locus of control. External locus of control. I want to show you a couple pictures from Senegal, West Africa. And this is a country that I have been working in for the last 15 years. And on your left, you see me with a colleague by the name of Dr. Kebe, who is a professor at a school in Saint Louis, Senegal, and he also happens to be an Islamic studies scholar. And in Senegal, you find that people have a very high external locus of control concept. And this is reflected, and here you see Dr. Kebe. He's actually pointing upward to the sky, and he's saying, if Allah wills, inshallah, if Allah wills, then it shall be. And this is reflective, again, of the Senegalese thought. It's not just what you do, but is your life predetermined? And if it's predetermined, it really doesn't make any difference how hard you work, that things are going to work out the way that they're predestined to be. So again, it's not just about your effort, but it's a combination of things. Luck, Allah, God, having influence in your life and determining how much success that you can have. What an interesting way and very different ways of looking at this important building block of culture.